So in the previous video we showed how we could create a connection string and then build a grid component that went against Salesforce data. So let's go back now to our connection string, and we're going to go ahead and edit it. So I'll go there and just type in Salesforce demo. And now what I'm going to do is turn on trace SQL. So this is going to show me what goes on behind the scenes when we make requests against the Salesforce API. So I'll go ahead there and click OK, close this down now, and now go back to my grid component, and let's go ahead now and go over into working preview, and then go to the trace window. So we'll open up the trace window and we'll go here to the SQL tab, and we can see here in the SQL tab that for example we had a SQL command basically over here to let's see, let's go back and just go up a little bit. We can see here that basically the grid made this SQL command basically select the first 11 records from the accounts table, and then behind the scenes Alpha Anywhere turned that into a REST call using this endpoint to go and get 11 records from the Salesforce accounts table. So behind the scenes Alpha Anywhere is taking the SQL that the grid generates and turning them into REST API calls that go against the Salesforce API. So we've discussed how you can create a connection string using a named resource, but you can also create connection strings that use special client secrets. So let's go back here to Alpha DAO over there and go here and say this time I'm going to choose a connection string that I previously built, and I'll go there and say edit, and you can see here that this time let's go here and delete that. This time we're basically supplying all the credentials directly. So here is my URL. So this is the URL that I see in the browser after I log into my Salesforce account. This is an incomplete version of the client ID, which you get from the Salesforce account. So there's more to this string here than you can see, and obviously I'm not going to reveal the entire client ID. This is the client secret that again I get from my connected application, and this is the client token, which is a special token that I can use, which allows me to avoid having to go through an OAuth flow in order to authenticate against Salesforce. So we're going to actually use my username and password here directly in the credentials to authenticate this Salesforce account, and so when I run my component or when I open my connection, I'm not going to have to go through an OAuth flow. So you can either use a named resource or you can supply all the credentials yourself when you build your connection strings. Thanks very much for watching.